What's the top of the card right now? Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. The people on top now are showing no signs of stopping. It's loaded right now.
Gunther has retired Goldberg, John Cena, AJ Styles. Does Gunther retire Brock Lesnar?
He could, but I think the idea should be he does more than just retire people. If he is the guy to retire Brock Lesnar, tell me a story that makes me believe he's not going to.
After Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar on Raw, I can't see Oba Femi losing this match.
I can't either. Should he win, he's in world title contention.
Who wins a world title first? Bron Breakker, Oba Femi, or Logan Paul?
Logan Paul. The fact that wrestling fans don't want him to be champion is one of the main reasons why he should be the world champion.
Danhausen has been wildly entertaining.
The idea of the crate was that it's ridiculous to debut out of a crate. At first, I was like, that's Jericho in that crate.
Do you think Jericho's coming back to WWE?
I would love to see it.
Who is the biggest what if in wrestling history?
The Ultimate Warrior in the WWE during the Attitude Era.
What are 3 matches you'd show to someone who is not a wrestling fan to win them over?
It would be...
All right, before we dive into this one, the guest has been officially announced for Insight Live in Las Vegas during WrestleMania week. And if you're there, my friends, you will hear, hey guys, Maven here. Yes, Maven is our guest for Insight Live, April 16th, the Thursday of WrestleMania week at Circa Resort and Casino, Las Vegas. And watch parties are back on. Stadium Swim is the place to watch WrestleMania here on a 143-foot screen with the pools in front of it. I mean, this is how you watch WrestleMania. Grab tickets for Insight Live at cvvtix.com. That's cvvtix.com. And for anybody who has a VIP ticket, as a wonderful added bonus, Maven is sticking around for the meet and greet after the show. So I'd love to see you with Maven in Las Vegas. cvvtix.com. You can also grab tickets for the next show in Tampa and New Orleans. And I will see all of the real ones in Las Vegas.
We didn't even plan this out. We're wearing our own merch.
We are. I mean, this is technically not, this is one of one.
Okay.
You know, this is, I mean.
It's beautiful.
Chain stitching. Okay. Like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about? Isn't that why people tune into wrestling podcasts? They can hear people talk about how great chain stitching is.
I'm wearing the Back to the Future inspired Insight with Chris Van Vliet t-shirt.
I like it.
Do you have a movie that you, for you, is like the absolute best? Like, well, Back to the Future for me is perfect.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we could do a whole other movie podcast because I get very obsessive over, that's why I'm sitting here talking about chain stitching. I get very obsessive over the things that I like.
Yeah.
And so obviously wrestling is there, but movies are there too. And I do have like a little thing on Letterboxd of, I think I found like 8 that are perfect 10 out of 10 movies. And the first Scream is 10 out of 10.
Oh, love that movie.
And I've got to tell you, and this one really throws people for a loop. I haven't found a ton of people that are with me on it, but if you ever interview Megan Moran, and you should, she's great. I once got off a plane. We were going to, it was earlier this year. We were going someplace or whatever, and we were on the same flight, but we were sitting apart. And I got off the plane, and I was so charged up because I had just rewatched for like the millionth time The Count of Monte Cristo. And I was ready to like tackle the world after that. I figured everything out. I was good to go. So Count of Monte Cristo. I don't know if there's a great font that I could turn it into Not Sam and go like, guys, hello, Count of Monte Cristo. But Count of Monte Cristo is like, I mean, it's like I watch Count of Monte Cristo like people read like self-help books. Like I'm like, that's it. Okay. That's it. You know, like that's where when it's time to figure some stuff out, it's like, let me put on Count of Monte Cristo and we'll get to the bottom of a lot.
Our friendship may be on the line with this. Is Interstellar on your list?
No. All right, that's it. We're not friends anymore. No, 10 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
No, and I love.
How dare you?
I love Christopher Nolan. It's not even the best Christopher Nolan movie, so it couldn't be.
It's not
even close. I mean, I would say.
Pardon me.
Dark Knight's better. Dark Knight Rises is better.
Than Interstellar?
100%.
The Prestige?
Prestige is way better. Prestige is probably his best one.
Prestige is
his best one.
So
not
good.
probably. Prestige is his best one. And then Inception's better.
Inception's so good.
Right. So that's 4 Nolan movies that are better than Interstellar. And probably Oppenheimer's better than Interstellar. So like that's fine. It's not even,
Oppenheimer's good.
So
So
if- what if-
Interstellar is life changing.
so when you came in here and said, is Interstellar a 10 out of 10 movie? And now I've just hit you back with, it's not even top 5 Nolan. I mean, this is,
we might need to restart this.
it's egregious is what's happened. This is, you couldn't have predicted it would go this poorly.
Wow. I remember seeing Memento in a film studies class.
Memento's better than Interstellar.
How dare you? How dare you?
And I like it. I'm not even saying it's bad, but Christopher Nolan's really, really good at movies.
I get it. I
You know,
understand.
he's really good at it.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, Interstellar's good. But like, it's not
Interstellar is
it's not top 5 Nolan.
perfect.
It's great.
It's so good.
It's really good. It's not top 5 Nolan.
Oh, the scene where Matthew McConaughey comes back from the water planet.
Right.
Oh.
Is the one where he's knocking behind the bookcase or something?
What is going on there? He's watching the video, and
Oh, yeah.
now that we're fathers, it's like, oh man.
But remember when Michael Caine goes, it's a bloody double. Prestige is so good.
It's so good.
Prestige is unbelievable. Prestige is 10 out of 10.
You know, the thing about Prestige, and I'm not going to give too much away for people who haven't seen it, but the Prestige gives away the ending of the movie in the first few minutes with the birds.
But you don't know until you know.
Exactly.
By the way, Prestige relates to pro wrestling. I mean, that was the way people used to live.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
a
that.
good point.
That was the like being a great magician where you live the act is the same. And to an extent, I mean, I think Gunther has a very prestige way about him where, you know, Gunther is so deep in character that people think that he doesn't have a character.
It's true.
They go, he's boring. He doesn't even have a character. I go, that's how deep, like, Gunther is, I don't think that anybody has been as committed to staying in character as Gunther since Undertaker.
Wow.
Like, that's the level of in character that Gunther is in all the time.
I did an interview with him a few years ago, and he was shockingly funny.
Yeah.
And it threw a lot of people off because they're like, wait a second, that guy who's so serious, who's an absolute killer in the ring,
Yes.
is funny?
He's funny. And also, that's the other thing. Like, I think there are some fans that expect tropes. And so they treat Gunther as if he is the trope killer big man, which he never has been. Like, Gunther matches have always been, Gunther takes a beating. Like, Gunther sells and sells and sells and sells. He gets beat up, but it doesn't put him down. And he keeps getting up, and then he finds a way to crush the other guy. Like, that's the Gunther bitch. It's not this, like, I'm a giant who smashes people. That's never been Gunther.
Even when you look at John Cena's last match,
Yep.
John Cena pulled everything out.
Yes.
Every move from his arsenal, and then some. And he still couldn't beat Gunther.
That's it. That's the Gunther match.
Yeah.
It's not this, like, I mean, everybody gets off. Dragon Lee got offense. But at the end, it's inevitable. You know, and I think I think Gunther is, I mean, I'm a big Gunther fan. But I think there's so much more there than I think many give credit to.
So Gunther has retired Goldberg.
Yes.
Gunther retired John Cena.
Yes.
Gunther retired AJ Styles.
And here's and I'm glad you're here because there are a lot of things I've been wanting to get off my chest. and maybe it's because I'm mad because you keep putting up that clip of when I say Mr. Perfect was never a world champion, and everybody in the comments goes, "Yeah, AWA world champion." I go, "Oh," but
I should have made it clearer. WWE or WCW, TNA.
Who's watching AWA that's in those comments?
People online just love to be right.
They do. They love it. They love it. Especially more right than the guy in the clip. But I think start your sentence again.
Gunther's retired everybody.
Yes, thank you. Because they go, Gunther hasn't retired everybody because they said it was their retirement match. So it was just their last match, but they were going to retire anyway. So Gunther didn't retire them. And I go, that's not a thing. If you beat the guy in his last match, you've retired him. Right?
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, good. Okay,
yes.
Good. All right, good. That also had to be said for the public.
Does Gunther retire Brock Lesnar?
Here's my thing about Gunther. He could. I mean, I think it'd be great. I think there's more to Gunther than what's cut and dry. I think he could retire Brock Lesnar, But I think the idea should be that Gunther has the ability to retire people. But number one, he doesn't retire everybody. And number two, he does more than just retire people. Because I think if you go, okay, everybody's retirement match is against Gunther, it becomes like, okay, we know what happens here, right? We know we're doing the same thing over and over again. I think that like for me, it's almost like if he is the guy to retire Brock Lesnar, which he could be, and it would be great. But I also think that means you tell me a story that makes me believe he's not going to. That's what I think is essential. And you can. But I think like if he is that guy, make me believe he's not going to do it, because that's what made, save for maybe the Goldberg, I think we assumed he would beat Goldberg. But there were a lot of people, and you could tell because they were very sad, that had this idea that John Cena might win his last match. And, up until the very last minute, I think a lot of people also thought that AJ wasn't necessarily going to get retired just like that at the Rumble and be gone. So
I was one of them.
Right.
I didn't think AJ Styles was going to lose that match.
It's crazy.
It was just because there was not a ton of build up to this being AJ Styles' last match.
And he said, it's going to be my last year. And you're like, it's barely February. Yeah. Like you got so much more in this year. Yeah. And it's like just WrestleMania, just a couple months away.
That's right.
And I like that. I think that's the magic of Gunther, but that's what you need. You can't just like announce it and go, okay, Gunther's going to beat Brock Lesnar, or Gunther's going to face Brock Lesnar. And then it starts to feel almost ceremonial that this is what you do on your way out. You lose to Gunther, because then it loses that thing that makes Gunther a bigger villain and makes that story.
Do you think that Brock Lesnar retires at SummerSlam this year?
Well, that's what John Cena told you, right?
Yeah, I feel like that kind of just snuck out. I feel like,
did you feel like in the moment he was like, oh, I don't, or do you think that?
I think he just said it like it was something he had said in other conversations.
Right.
But it was not public news.
No, I didn't hear that.
So I went, oh.
But then you also don't know, is it just he's like going, okay, I know Brock's not going to be around longer, and I know Minnesota's where SummerSlam's going to be 2-2.
Maybe.
Could be, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm anxious to see what Brock looks like at WrestleMania, because and also, you read dirt sheets and every week it's something different. Like 1 week it's like Brock's not going to lose anything until his retirement match. And then I turn on Raw and like he's making Oba Femi look like $10 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even to the point of his facial expressions.
So good.
Like looking around, and it's like that facial, before Oba even hit the ring, he's made.
Yeah.
Right? Because Brock's looking around scared.
Yes.
And then, Brock found his way up to get 30 feet as he took that Oba Femi powerbomb. And that, like, so.
And it's the first time he'd been powerbombed in 10 years.
That's nuts.
And then there's the moment where Brock Lesnar, you can see he goes, put your foot on my chest. It's like, oh, as if this moment wasn't already good enough.
And it made it.
Yeah.
It was like, there's so much to it. There was a lot that made that segment so special. So, like, I'm kind of super interested because Brock is such a unique character, because I think everybody has this idea of who Brock Lesnar is as a wrestler. And I don't think a lot of people give credence to how much there is there. Like the fact that he can be this like rookie that is killing everybody for 2-3 years and then is gone and then comes back and he's like UFC Brock. And then he's, I beat the streak and now I beat everybody Brock. And then he's, I took Kofi's title and only defended 3 times a year, Brock. And we all go, I hate Brock. He's never around. He's not coming. And then he comes back as Cowboy Brock. And he's like the biggest baby face. And then you go, we love Brock. And then all he has to do is do one thing where he turns heel on Cody and we hate Brock again. And so like, I'm interested. I think last year was kind of just like, okay, Brock's back in the fold. He beat John Cena. He was in the War Games match. But it's like, who is 2026 Brock Lesnar, right? I don't think that that's been defined. And like, who is Brock Lesnar going into WrestleMania? Who is Brock Lesnar coming out of WrestleMania? And therefore, like, what is the path to, if he's going to retire, if he's not going to retire? Like, what does that whole thing look like?
He's not showing any signs of slowing down.
No way.
Which is why it seems hard to accept that just a few months from now, he might possibly be retiring at SummerSlam.
You say the same thing about AJ Styles, though.
I know. And
honestly,
it's AJ Styles.
You could say the same thing about John Cena.
Yeah.
You almost wanted to be like, no, wait until you're having bad matches. Then retire. Like, these are great.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine. Like, these are great.
But at least we had a year to say goodbye to to John Cena.
Right, he told you.
Yes, and we knew it was 35 to 40 dates. Like, he laid it all out. And it ended up being 36 dates. I thought it was so perfectly done, too. It was 18 appearances where he wrestled, 18 appearances where he didn't wrestle. And I thought that was done really well. You're so right, though, about Brock Lesnar and WrestleMania. And at this point, after what we saw with Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar on Raw,
yeah,
I can't see Oba Femi losing this match.
No, I can't either. But also, there's a lot of time. Like, that's the other thing. Like, I think people are going, well, why don't we know the whole card? It's WrestleMania. We're going to WrestleMania. And it's like, it's still another month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want to see, because Brock is on a lot of Raws before WrestleMania. So it's like, is the wind going to blow in the other direction? Are we going to see a vulnerability? Or is this the rise of Oba? Because, man, I agree with you that I'm looking at that going like, oh man, this is it. And I love it. Like, the idea that you're like, no, we're pushing down the gas pedal. We're going all the way with Oba right away. And I feel like the last person they did that with was Brock Lesnar in 2002.
When you think about Oba Femi's first singles match on the main roster, being at WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. I mean, doesn't get much bigger than that.
No. And then should he win, it's like from that point on, it's like he's in world title contention. He would have to be. What else are you gonna do? Now you're talking about, and that's where we go back to Gunther. And it's like, I start to get more interested in, okay, if Oba Femi were to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, what would Gunther versus Oba look like? Because now we're looking at two things that we've, locked our smart wrestling fan heads onto. Well, Gunther's not going to lose because he beat John Cena. And Oba's not going to lose because he's Oba. And also he just beat Brock Lesnar. So what happens if Gunther's not like, I only retire people? What happens if he's also like, no, and I'm going to put the brakes on you because you're moving up too fast. Yeah. I set the rules here. And then, like, you headline a big stadium show with Gunther and Oba. Something's got to give.
Yeah. It's a great way to look at it because Gunther can only retire so many people.
That's right.
There's only so many people that are at that stage of their career. So where else can it go? And I think that that's a perfect direction for it to go.
Right. That, like, Gunther becomes this measuring stick. And also, John Cena, I'm sure he said it to you a bunch. Like, the idea that, like, the reason John Cena loses to this guy is so that this guy can take that and move it on to this guy. So that this guy can take that and move it on to here. And, like, yeah, on one end, you go, Gunther could go all the way with this. And he could keep retiring people until he could beat everybody. And, like, if Gunther stepped up to Cody or Punk or whoever, Gunther's the world champion. Now this is a different Gunther as world champion. This could be huge. At the same time, he could take all that he's gotten from not just John, but also AJ and Goldberg. And now all of a sudden it's on Oba, right? And all this gets carried over onto Oba. And that's how you get somebody like Oba to be a headline act less than a year into his run,
I couldn't agree more.
It's a way you could, there's a million things you could do, but that's a thing you could do.
We're now less than 2 months away from WrestleMania, and check out where I was sitting last year for night 2, the never seen 17, although he kicks out here, but you know how this match ends. I'm zoomed in a little bit, but great seats here from SeatGeek, and that's why I want to give a huge shout out to them for sponsoring this video. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, WWE, sports, festivals, and more. So check this out right here. This is SmackDown in a few weeks. Tickets start at $45 here. And the cool thing about SeatGeek is they've got your back. Every ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know if you're getting a good deal or not. Look for those green dots. Green means good. Red means bad, plus every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And of course, yes, I've got a code for you. The code is CVV for 10% off your next set of tickets from SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets when you use that code CVV. Just click the link down below to download the app, and that code will automatically be applied for whatever your next event is. Big shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode.
What was your favorite match from John Cena's retirement tour?
So I always like the one that made me feel the most, because I think AJ versus John is one that's going to stick out. But I think Cody and John at SummerSlam was like perfect. I think it was perfect. I think it was like this thing that like there was an awareness that like WrestleMania wasn't what we wanted it to be. And we know that it wasn't what you wanted it to be. I think the idea that John just turned babyface the night before, or 2 nights before, I guess, and we're all like, that was quick, that was strange, is that for real? Is it like, are you allowed to do that? And you'd hear people going like, well, you can't just do that. And then but there's one way to test it. Like you get to MetLife Stadium and everybody cheers him, and it's like, you can just do that.
Like he literally just told the crowd, like,
my bad.
Guess what, everyone?
Yeah.
I'm a babyface now.
Sorry, kid from Belgium. That's my bad. Like I changed my mind. Fine, I'm not going to ruin it. They're like, great. That's because that's the thing. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, great, perfect, all right. And then so to see that happen, and to see that match, and to see how good it was, and that was the other thing, that when John Cena was working as a villain, his matches weren't that good, but it was by design. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing the things
at first. And I think that he kind of realized, wait a second, if I wrestle like this, like a heel, people aren't going to boo me because they don't like the match. They're just going to boo.
They don't want to see this.
Yeah, they don't want to see this.
Right.
So that's why the match with Randy Orton, I thought, was
started to get better.
Great.
And Punk was really good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, I'll wrestle in an entertaining way, but still be a heel.
And so when it was like SummerSlam hit, and it's Cody and John, and like, it's everything it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And like and there was not even any sort of like wonky, like, haha, but now I'm turning and this and that. It was just like, nope, here are your guys. And ultimately it's like, that was your pass the torch moment. That was John Cena going, nope, Cody, it's all yours. I'm not leaving just yet, but it's yours. This is you. And so for me, because of everything around it, because of the story, because of the match itself, I love that Cena Cody SummerSlam match. And then Brock coming out at the end, just blowing people's minds, was fun too.
Such a great match, and like so much better than the story that they told at WrestleMania.
Yes.
My favorite match from the John Cena retirement tour is John Cena versus AJ Styles. Like,
sure.
What a beautiful love letter to wrestling. All the TNA moves being done, all the moves, like there were so many things in there that just made you go, yes, this is what I love about wrestling.
And this is the power of I don't know, branding, I guess. It wasn't dissimilar from what Randy Orton and Edge did at Backlash during the pandemic.
You mean the greatest match?
And I remember going on a whole rant on my thing going, guys, we have to like, get past it, right? And go like, no, the greatest wrestling match ever, I believe was it's like, no, you have to take that not literally, but almost as a stipulation, almost as that like, for me, John Cena versus AJ Styles was a greatest wrestling match ever match, because it becomes a love letter to wrestling, because that's what Randy Orton and Edge did, except if you had announced AJ Styles versus John Cena, and it will be the greatest wrestling match ever, then all of a sudden we'd be like, I mean, it was really good, but
well, the bar is set impossibly high.
Impossibly high. There's so many matches. Yeah. And also, it's very subjective.
At least AJ Styles and John Cena had a crowd to perform in front of.
That was helpful too.
Like that,
and it was fantastic, dude. It was.
Yeah.
And also, you're right. Like, I know you're like are like a TNA junkie from back in the day.
Yes.
So like the idea that like AJ was in his TNA gear, like John was doing those tribute moves to WWE guys, but AJ started doing TNA tributes. It was like, yeah, this is like, it's wrestling. It's beautiful.
And that wonderful intro that John Cena surprised AJ with. Like the look on AJ's face was almost like when the best man is toasting the groom. It's like, okay.
Yeah, and he hits him with something like,
"Oh,
I didn't expect. Oh, I felt that.
Yeah,
I felt that."
I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great comparison because that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's like, whoop, I didn't know you were going to do that. You're making me feel feelings over here.
I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed the John Cena farewell tour. I don't think we'll ever see anything like it ever again.
I don't either. And I think that it goes back to what you were saying about like build up and this and that. It's like that. I think almost at the end of last year, there were people who started fantasy booking like who's going to be the next person to get a year, and this person gets a year, and that person gets a year. It's like you can't do that. You can't. I think he was the perfect guy to do it, and I think that he did it as well as maybe one could. I think it's very difficult to like plot a year out ahead and go, here are the directions that we'll go in, because everything changes all the time.
Yeah.
But the idea that like, and I think as time passes, you just appreciate it more and more. I mean, the idea that we got as much good stuff as we got out of that tour, it was incredible. And John's the perfect guy for it.
Absolutely. It's hard to get wrestling fans to agree on anything universally.
Yeah.
But I think wrestling fans can all come together and say WrestleMania 40, specifically the night 2 main event of WrestleMania 40, was like peak. And I think it's actually set up the next bunch of WrestleManias kind of for failure, because WrestleMania 40 was so good that everyone's like, it needs to be as good as that.
It's so funny. Like when I'm doing the show on Sirius and I'm starting to take the calls and stuff, and we're like, whoa, you could do this, you could do that. And people will call up and go like, okay, here's the main event. This guy's fighting this guy. And then this guy comes out. And then that guy comes out. And then this guy comes out. And I stop him. And like, I've made a rule on the show now. Don't fantasy book WrestleMania 40. Stop calling me and give me WrestleMania 40 finish. You keep, and people don't even realize they're doing it. But I go, listen to yourself. It's the WrestleMania 40 finish. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess that is
it's
WrestleMania
Avengers
40.
Endgame.
Yeah. But here's the thing. You could only do that movie once.
That's right.
You can't just keep doing Avengers Endgame. And, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I mean, the rebuild stage after that has been massive. Like in terms of figuring out like, okay, that was one of the great cinematic achievements ever. What's next? And that's a tough question.
Yeah.
And
I feel like Raw and SmackDown, especially since 2026 began, they've just turned it up. Like the fact that when you tune into weekly television, something like the WWE Championship can change hands on SmackDown, or can change hands again on
Twice,
a SmackDown, or the Intercontinental title can change hands. There was a point at the beginning of the year when 3 titles changed hands in the course of a week.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know for a fact when that happened, but it had to be a long time ago. Maybe Attitude Era was the last time that happened.
Yeah. And then it was happening way too much where it wasn't special anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And there are all these things like, it's like, are we going to, and we can like really obsess over it and talk about it. Are we going to talk about this week's Punk and Roman thing, or Cody and Randy, or like, just like a couple weeks ago when Randy's on the phone and we're like, who's he on the phone with? And you can sit there and talk for hours about a 2-minute Randy Orton's on the phone segment. I think that I don't take any of that stuff for granted because it's so good. There's so much stuff in it.
We did the same with the Masked Man. Like for months.
Yeah.
Who's the Masked Man? It looks like it could be Austin Theory. Okay, that Masked Man was Austin Theory. There's another Masked Man.
Now there's 30.
Oh, yeah. Right. But I also appreciate that like it seemed pretty clear that the Masked Man was Grayson Waller. And then they did this angle where it's like, oh, well, there's plenty of different Masked Men, and Seth Rollins has this like group of Masked Men. It could be anybody. And I like that they kind of paid off that storyline in that way.
Where it's like, you just never know.
That's right.
You never know who it's going to be. Like was Seth that was Seth at the Royal Rumble? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, that was Seth over there? Could have been. Don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I agree.
Danhausen has been wildly entertaining. And I love that everybody's able to see the Danhausen that me and you have known and loved for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I said it, it's so funny too, because I think that people are getting on Danhausen now. And it's really great that all it took was one segment where he opened his mouth. All it took was that first Monday Night Raw segment. And everybody's like, oh, okay, this is great. You know what I mean? Like it was 24 hours of this sucks. What is this? What? And then it was like, oh, that's great. Then everybody comes around on it.
I think he should have popped out of the crate with no fanfare, with no smoke, with no dancers. I think that they should have just opened the crate backstage at Elimination Chamber, and then he like puts a curse on somebody and walks away.
I mean, I don't know. It was interesting because I think the idea of the crate was that it's ridiculous to debut out of a crate.
Well, it was a throwback to like WCW in the 90s.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I think it's true that wrestling fans like it when people debut out of boxes. Because I was having conversations with people, and they were like, you know what? I bet it's The Rock in the box. And I go, you think The Rock has been sitting in a crate for 2 weeks? It's The Rock, the final boss, who's on the board of directors, decided the best thing he can do to show up at a WWE show is to sit in a crate for 2 weeks. I mean, but can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, sure, but it's a crate. Like, it's silly, it's crazy, it's whimsical even. And I think that, like, I think the beauty of Danhausen, and I had said this on my podcast, is that, like, he can't do anything incorrectly. Because the idea that Danhausen came out and everybody just kind of goes like, what? You know what I mean? And he doesn't get that big response. All that sets up for is 2 days later for Danhausen to be like, yeah, they love me. There were thunderous applause. And that's like, Danhausen is delusional. Yeah. That's who the character is. Like, he takes himself very seriously. He has these delusions of grandeur. And so the idea that he didn't get uproarious applause becomes part of the character who Danhausen is.
It only took like a week for people to be saying Hausen to everything.
They're saying Hausen to everything. They're finishing. He's out there throwing out T-shirts and they're finishing his catchphrase. You are?
Yeah.
Cursed.
I will not be surprised when he's the top merch seller for like March, then maybe not April with WrestleMania, but like for many months.
Dude, wait till they come out with those masks.
Oh, the masks.
I mean, you know, they got to sell.
Cape.
Do you know how well Jars of Teeth would do at WWE World?
You're so right.
I mean, I don't know who I got to talk to. But like, if they just sold, and I don't know, like make it so they don't come off. Maybe they're a choking hazard. But like, if they just sold Jars of Teeth at WWE World for like $25,
yeah,
I'm not leaving Vegas without a jar of teeth.
Make it an exclusive WWE World only thing.
Put it in a WrestleMania jar.
Oof.
Do it at every show. Put a little WrestleMania logo on the jar or on the top of the jar. Now I'm collecting jars of teeth.
You know how WWE does, like, instead of American Nightmare, it's like New York Nightmare, Nashville Nightmare.
Yeah.
They do that with it, like Brock Lesnar's like Suplex City.
I remember when they did that.
Right,
yeah.
New York and
I have the Ontario,
Miami.
California Suplex City t-shirt.
I was there too.
Is that right?
Wow.
That's so fun.
But they could maybe start doing like New York Hausen, Miami Hausen,
yeah,
Los Angeles Hausen.
Or like New York Cursed.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Just put cursed under
so
every
easy.
Right?
Yeah.
Vegas Cursed.
Austin 316, Toronto 316. Like those sell in every city.
Isn't that crazy that Danhausen is that guy?
Yeah.
Like there's not many people that you can do that. But if you go to an arena already, you're like, I better get the local to the city Danhausen shirt. He's already got 3 shirts. Matt Cardona, he's happy for him, but is also like, come on. I've got my own t-shirt designs here. He can't believe what's happening.
And I think that Danhausen can keep doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Before even teasing what his first feud is.
I mean, and I don't know. Like, we both know he can wrestle.
Of course.
He's a good wrestler.
Yes. Great wrestler.
Yeah. He doesn't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't. I'm not sitting here. Like the idea that the other week he went to curse Kofi and then Kofi just shoved Grayson Waller in front of him and now Grayson Waller's cursed. That's enough. That's hilarious. That's great.
It's so good.
You know? And it, you know, yeah, he can have a rivalry with somebody or he can have a match with somebody, but also that character can be used to highlight other characters. Like if you wanted to set up that there was tension between Kofi and Grayson Waller, mix it in there with Danhausen. Even if that first segment with Danhausen, and maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I don't think so. The first segment with Danhausen and the Judgment Day, when like JD McDonough's like, I hate this guy.
Yeah. And
Dominic Mysterio is like, you know, you better leave before something bad happens to you. And Finn Balor goes, oh, he's the new guy. Give him a chance. And in that moment, I'm like, Finn Balor's turning babyface. And Danhausen is that first vehicle where you get a hint of like, oh, Finn Balor's kind of a good guy. You know what I mean? Like you could like little stuff like that can come out through a character like Danhausen. The whole show's now better for it.
It also instantly legitimized Danhausen. He curses Dominic Mysterio.
And then they did such a good job.
Later in the night, he loses the IC title.
They did such a good job on commentary of not saying, oh, Dominic was cursed and Penta, that's why Penta won the title. Yeah. It was like, no, Penta beat him fair and square. But we are like, oh, yeah, but he got cursed. Yeah. We know.
Sleep. So important. One of my top priorities, especially with 2 young kids keeping us on our toes all day. Cozy Earth has been a big part of this. Cozy Earth's quality is undeniable. You can feel it in the materials. Their bamboo sheet set, these are the softest sheets I've ever slept on, and they're naturally breathable and temperature regulating. Sleep is so important because how you feel every day depends on how you slept the night before. With Cozy Earth, you get a 100-night sleep trial, so try them for yourself. I love them, but if they're not for you, returns are simple and every piece comes with a 10-year warranty. Their comforters are amazing too. Discover how care in every detail transforms simple routines into moments of true comfort and ease. Head to CozyEarth.com and use my code CVV for up to 20% off. That's code CVV for up to 20% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, make sure to let them know that you heard about Cozy Earth right here on the show. Experience the craft behind the comfort and make every day feel intentional.
There were a lot of rumors that Chris Jericho might have been in the box.
I thought he was in the box at first. I was like, that's Jericho in that crate.
Do you think Jericho's coming back to WWE at some point?
I would love to see it. I think it should happen. You know, I think, you know, Jericho's just such a unique, well, he's a unique entity in the world of professional wrestling, right? The idea that he's one of those early guys that bet on himself, comes out of WCW, out of the cruiserweight division, and like makes a splash in WWE, but then kind of gets pushed. Well, actually, we don't know. And has to, you know, prove himself, scratch and claw, and like become that guy. Goes away, reinvents himself. Goes away, reinvents himself. If he reinvents himself and that doesn't quite work, oh, let me tweak that. Let me turn into this guy then. And then it does work. And then goes away and goes like, I can work in New Japan. You're like, come on, you're Chris Jericho. You're a WWE guy. And he kills it in New Japan. He's awesome. And then it's like AEW pops up and he's like, yeah, I can be that first face of this company. And well, yeah, I don't know. And he does it. I think, yeah, one last Jericho run in WWE, I think is something that I would love to see.
And if you look at recent photos of him, it looks like he's in tremendous shape.
You can even see when he's doing his podcast and he's sitting at his desk, his whole face is cut. Like meaning like they're like he's trimmed down, like you could tell how lean he is. Yeah. Just based on this like jaw structure and everything. I'm like, bro, he's ready to go.
Looks like he's in the best shape he's been in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think, and I also think it would be refreshing. I think it's one of those things where like when Hulk Hogan came back to WWE at, you know, before at like No Way Out or whatever, before WrestleMania 18, and he brought the NWO with him, there was like this idea that, well, he got so hot as Hollywood Hogan, let's bring in Hollywood Hogan. But the reality is that once Hulk Hogan was back in WWE, people were like, they forgot everything. Like they forgot the whole, 94 to 01 was like, I don't know anything about what happened then. I want red and yellow. I want Hulk Hogan's back in the WWE. I want Hulk Hogan back. And he goes on that. He's like the first guy that went on the nostalgia run effectively. And I think Jericho's a similar way. I think Jericho pops up back in a WWE ring and it's almost like we've totally forgotten.
You think he comes back to break the walls down?
100%.
Wow.
1000%.
I think he's such a marketing genius and would like getting the royalties of Fozzy playing in arenas around the world.
Don't disagree.
That if he does come back to break the walls down, I think he'll be pushing really hard for it to be Judas.
Right, because that's his song.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get it. And from a business perspective, but I think when I visualize it, it's 1000% break the walls down.
But even if you never saw any of Chris Jericho's matches outside of WWE, you're familiar with the song Judas.
And it became like when he first started doing it, how big it became and the crowd singing along and everything, sure. But Judas coming, like that would do something.
Maybe it's a into Judas, the countdown into Judas.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of a WWE fanboy, but I'm 1,000% behind Break the Walls Down, start to finish. And like, I get it. God bless Chris. I'm sure. And if I were him, I'd be fighting hard for Judas too. I would want those royalties. But from a fan perspective, no, Break the Walls Down.
So I just looked it up. Chris Jericho's last match was April 6th, 2025. The Ring of Honor World Title versus Mask. Bandito defeats Chris Jericho. So it's been almost exactly a year.
Almost a year. Yeah.
Since
Almost
Chris
a
Jericho
year.
wrestled.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
You know?
But he's taken time off in the past.
Sure.
This is nothing new.
No, not at all. And I like the idea that like, we don't know now. I think everybody was like, oh, he's definitely coming back. And then when he didn't come back at the Rumble, and then when he didn't come out of Danhausen's crate, it was almost like, oh, maybe he's not coming. Like, I love that we're now in that space of, I don't know if he is or isn't. And then, like, everybody's, you know, the rumor mill's buzzing about contract status and this and that, and who knows? But, like, I find it difficult to believe. I don't want to believe that I won't see Chris Jericho back in the WWE ring.
I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when is it going to happen?
Yeah.
And how's it going to happen?
I mean, it would be an amazing Raw after WrestleMania moment, especially if they kept it a tight-lipped secret.
Yes, like he flies into like somewhere in California,
Yeah.
drives in the back
Drives
of a car.
through the desert, yeah,
right.
in the back of a black SUV,
Right.
and then Break the Walls Down comes on.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. There's been so much talk about Cody Rhodes being Homelander, Cody Rhodes turning heel. Do you think there's any world, any situation where we could actually see Cody Rhodes turn heel?
Sure, could we? Yeah, I think he'd be. I mean, Cody's really good at wrestling. I think he'd be great at being a heel if that's what he wanted to do.
I agree. I just think it's so tough because he's the face of WWE. He's the face of the company. He's taking that role that John Cena had for so long. He's the guy who shows up early,
1,000%.
stays late, signs all the autographs, takes the pictures with the kids, does the Make-A-Wish stuff. Like, I think it's tough to make that guy a bad guy.
And I also have what I think is the benefit of watching a lot of WWE with my kids. So I see the way they look at Cody. You know what I mean? I see that it's like, oh yeah, that's that. I remember when I was a little kid, I remember the little kids that looked at Cena that way, where it's like, you know, they're not on wrestling Twitter. They're just watching the show. And like, they hate Randy Orton right now. They can't believe what Randy Orton did. They don't why would Randy Orton do that? It sucks. Randy Orton sucks. Like, it's that kind of thing. So could Cody do it? Yes. I've never been much of a Cody should turn heel guy. I'm not an advocate for it. You know, I think that like having great baby faces and real baby faces is rarer and more difficult than people realize. And I think like Cody is incredible at what he does. And the minute like you can meme it all you want, the minute WrestleMania rolls around and Cody gets beaten bloody, you're rooting for Cody's the baby face. You know? And I think was it your interview? Because I saw you did like a few interviews there at the Nightmare Factory recently.
Yeah.
Was it your interview where he was talking about being polarizing now?
Yeah.
Okay, that was a great quote. That was a great quote. I've been talking about
said
that.
something really interesting there where he said that when they do the arrival shots,
Yeah.
he said that sometimes Bobby Roode will come up to him and say, that's an away game today.
I like when he says it like
I
that.
thought that was so interesting. Like Cody Rhodes pops up on the Titantron and the vast majority of the people in the building are booing him. And it's
Right.
like, okay. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And
he's aware of it.
yeah, for sure. And that's not a surprise. Like Cody seems to be aware of everything, which is good. That's what you should be.
Yeah.
But I think when Cody was talking about being polarizing and how it was interesting and I hadn't been there before, but I'm going, I wonder if Cody, being such a student of the game, is aware that in the modern era, being polarizing is what being the top guy is. Like that's how Cody was unique because he wasn't polarizing because everybody was cheering him. But to be the top guy and to hold that position Whether you're, OG big dog Roman Reigns, whether you're John Cena, like that position in the modern era has become a position where you're, and for many years, either you're an anti-hero or if you want to do it long-term, you're polarizing. And I wonder to an extent if Cody looks at this and goes, oh, if I'm polarizing, maybe it means I've leveled up. You know what I mean? Maybe it means that it's like, oh, I'm starting to get that rare air. And in order to be a good guy in that rare air in the modern age, you're polarizing.
I think what Cody's doing right now is so good. Promos to matches to storytelling in promos and matches. I think it's like he has leveled up so much.
Yes.
Since returning at WrestleMania 38.
Oh my God, yeah. If you just look at the whole thing in the last 4 years, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it's insane.
This WrestleMania marks 4 years since he returned.
That's right.
Which is crazy because it feels like he never left at this point.
1000%.
Yeah.
He feels like a WWE superstar.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing of, launching another company.
Yeah.
Like that was, oh yeah, I guess he did that. You know what I mean? When you go back and watch episodes of TV and they're not, and he comes out to his music and the audience hasn't started saying, whoa.
Yeah.
You're like, who even is this person? And you can see it too. You can see it in the way he carries himself. You can see that he's a different person now. And even going from 38 to now. But I also think that Cody does such this tremendous job of like realizing that there are a lot of fans that go in with these ideas and go, oh, he's just going to do the same old stuff or this or that, whatever they're going to say about Cody. And he has a way of making them react. He has this way of like, okay, it's time to turn up the emotion right here. And it's like, oh yeah. Or like, okay, it's time to do this over there. Even that, like that promo that he had with John Cena leading into the WrestleMania match on the SmackDown before WrestleMania last year, where like the way people remember it, it's like, oh yeah, Cody got booed at SmackDown. And it's like, yeah, Cody got booed. But then when he started talking, he turned them. He got booed when he picked up the microphone. And then once he started cutting his promo, he got them to start cheering him. And nobody can do that. That's insane. Like that's really high level, skillful work.
And I think we got to a point with John Cena where his matches during his prime were pretty predictable. Like,
sure,
5 moves of doom was a real thing. And even John Cena will tell you that.
The hits.
Playing the hits. With Cody Rhodes, his matches are always a little different. Like when you look at something like his Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins, that is a vastly different match than his SummerSlam match against John Cena last year.
We had both pecs with the John Cena match. But yes, no.
2 working arms, yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that's 100% right. That's 100% right. And even like the non-stip matches, they don't feel cookie cutter.
Yeah.
At all. Like there are different stories for different points.
Even when he's wrestling a match, like, when he's advertised for SmackDown, but he's not on the card.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and wrestles a dark match because Cody Rhodes was advertised to be here. Even those matches deliver.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been at some of those.
I saw, the holiday tour, we went to the Bridgeport, Connecticut show. And it was actually the weekend before, it was like 5 or 6 days before the 3 Stages of Hell match. But it was a cage match with Drew. And it 100% delivered. It was so great. And I love that he's like the guy advocating to bring back live events, knowing that if they were, he's the guy that would have to be on the live events. And he's still advocating to bring them back. That's amazing.
I feel like it's so easy to use, I'm just too busy, as an excuse to not eat well. But Factor changes everything. We're talking fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. It's delivered to your door, ready in 2 minutes. There's no planning, no cooking, and really no excuses. Quality, functional ingredients, including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils. And there's 100 rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh and delicious all throughout the season. My go-to meal these days is this one right here. Lemon herb grilled chicken, with quinoa rice blend and broccoli. So good. Pop it in the microwave and it's ready in about 2 minutes. These meals are always delivered fresh, never frozen, there's no prep, there's no stress, so you can actually stick to your goals. Head to factormeals.com/insight50off and use the code insight50off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easy with Factor.
What are 3 matches you'd show to someone who is not a wrestling fan to win them over?
Huh. See, that's interesting. Because, like, I have, there's a girl who works for me now named Danielle she knew nothing of wrestling. And so on this road to WrestleMania, whenever there's something really good, I just have her watch the segment cold and then come in and ask me questions about the segment. And then there's this whole lesson.
Oh, that's so fun.
That goes around, and it's so fun, and everybody who's like listening loves it and everything, because you get to like reflect and see the enthusiasm and everything. But in terms of like matches where it's like, this is what wrestling is, I think Hell in a Cell is important, Mankind and Undertaker, because it's not necessarily like this is what wrestling is or this is what it should be, but it is like, hey, it's not fake. Like,
it is certainly the answer to the question, don't you know wrestling's fake? And it's like, actually.
Let me show you something.
Yeah.
Let me show you something. It's like, did they plan on The Undertaker winning? Yeah. But like, how do you do this? How do you do that? I'll tell you how you do it. You just do it. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's a great example of that. But then you go, but that's not what it's all like. Because they'll go like, I can't.
Especially when you tell someone like, oh no, they were going to actually stretcher him off. Like that was the end of the match.
Yes.
And nobody knew what was going to happen. The cell is raising with Undertaker standing on top. He doesn't know what's going on. And then Mick Foley going,
No.
Nope. I'm going to try to figure this out.
And it got so much worse. Got so much worse after that.
Have you seen him live?
Not for a while, but yes.
It's so good.
Yes.
And he has a bit where he talks about like where he got thrown off the cell and he's like, and that was the worst thing that would happen to me that night. And then pauses because the audience laughs. And
yeah.
5 minutes later.
So it would definitely be that for that reason. It would be John Cena versus CM Punk Money in the Bank 2011.
Oh, yes.
Because there's just so much. I don't even think you could really quickly. I mean, you don't even have to tell the story. The commentators will tell you. This could be CM Punk's last night, blah, blah, blah. And all the stuff that happens and the drama behind it and everything. Like you almost still, what's it? I mean, 15 years later, you watch that match now and you go, I got to see what happens next.
That's my favorite John Cena match. That's my favorite CM Punk match.
Wow. And for some people, for I don't know. I mean, I don't even think it's CM Punk's favorite John Cena and CM Punk match because they had the Raw match, leading to the WrestleMania where it was John Cena versus The Rock. That is a great match too. Yeah. But you're right in terms of story. It's mine too. But in terms, I don't know if it's my favorite John Cena match. Definitely my favorite CM Punk match. Might be my favorite John Cena match. So that would be the second one for sure, just because of the drama and the story and everything. And then third, probably the Bloodline Rules WrestleMania 40 main event. Probably WrestleMania 40 main event because it's
Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame because it's like it's so fun.
Yeah.
The fact that they played the music is so ridiculously fun for everybody coming out. It's a history lesson. It is, I believe, a changing of the guard, not between Roman and Cody, but between eras, where it's all these legends coming out to kind of go like, okay, this is it. And all these other newer guys coming out, I just, and also, I think the Bloodline story might be the greatest story ever told in professional wrestling. So
it's certainly top 3, top 5.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably for the amount that's there. And even Cody's story. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think those would be my 3. Hell in a Cell, Mankind, Undertaker, Money in the Bank 2011, Punk and Cena, and Cody and Roman from WrestleMania 40.
I'll give you my 3.
Please.
And it's funny that we have not overlapped at all on these.
That's great.
Rock Hogan.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
WrestleMania 18.
Great one.
Because you can show that to someone who's never watched a second of wrestling.
Yep.
And the crowd tells the whole story.
You don't have to say a word. You don't have to explain the context. You don't. Yep. I'm with that.
And then when you do explain to someone, well, actually, that guy's supposed to be the bad guy.
Right.
And that guy's supposed to be the good guy.
And then that's another thing about, wrestling is fake, where you're like, see where those two are looking at the crowd and figuring out like what sound the crowd is making, that's real life. That's those two realizing this match is going to be completely different than the one we thought we were going to have.
There's a moment early in the match when Hogan pushes Rock down and the crowd like pops louder than I've ever heard. And I was there. And Hogan looks around with genuine excitement on his face. Like at this point, he hasn't been cheered in years.
Right.
And he's like, oh,
that's it.
That's for me.
Yeah. And it's, because it not only has not been cheered for years because he was Hollywood, but he wasn't cheered like that for years before he was Hollywood.
You're right.
It was probably 91, 92 when he was cheered like that last. And he's looking around. Huh? 10 years later, 11 years later, whatever it is, going, let's go.
But the look on his face is genuine surprise and excitement and like, oh, baby, like,
it's
buckle
on.
Up.
We're back. We are so back.
Number 2, HBK versus Undertaker, WrestleMania. I think you could go with
Which
either
one?
of them.
Okay.
But I'll go with 25.
Okay.
I think it's about as close to perfect as you can get for a wrestling match.
I like that one. I think 26 has the benefit of the story and Shawn retiring and everything, but 25 really is Undertaker and Shawn with a chip on their shoulder going like, let's make them embarrassed that they didn't headline the show with this.
It's like such a good match.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That's a good one.
And then my third one, just because you know I love TNA so much.
You do love TNA. You're going to show a TNA match?
I'm going to show a TNA match just to show people what athleticism can look like in a wrestling ring.
How many sides that ring have?
It has 6 sides.
As it should, don't you think?
Well, I think if you ask AJ Styles.
I'm not asking AJ Styles. I'm asking Chris Van Vliet.
I think TNA should have 6 sides.
Yes.
Yes. I think when they rebranded to TNA, there was a missed opportunity to
bring back the 6 sides. I couldn't agree more.
The 6-sided ring.
Yeah.
I understand why they didn't. I understand that was an era that existed within that era and they have moved on from that.
Bring it back.
But I agree.
Run it back.
I'm taking it to Unbreakable 2005. Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe,
Woo!
AJ Styles.
You're getting people involved in the work rate style.
What a match.
It's a great match.
There were so many things when I watched that match for the first time where I was like, what did they just do?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I was familiar with Samoa Joe at that point in time, but he was doing things in that match where I'm like, someone of his size should not be that athletic, but he is.
How is it humanly possible?
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm with that.
And I just feel like that era of TNA and the X Division specifically leveled everything up across the board.
Yes, 100%. And I mean, if you look at I think there was like NXT in that black and gold era. The very beginning was like, let's scoop up these Ring of Honor guys. Look at what they're doing in Ring of Honor. Let's get Tyler Black. Let's get, Kevin Steen. Let's get El Generico. And then that next generation was, this TNA stuff is unreal.
Yes, unreal.
Let's get these guys from TNA. Let's get Joe. Let's get AJ. And I know AJ, like I know they were, but the TNA guys, and I think that, that you're right on.
I know that TNA or that AJ Styles spent more of his career in WWE than TNA, which is a crazy.
That's crazy. That's a crazy
about.
statistic.
But I still think of him as a TNA guy. When I think of TNA, AJ Styles is the first name that pops into my head.
Okay, when you think of TNA, you think of AJ Styles, but when you think of AJ Styles, do you think of TNA?
I personally do.
You love TNA.
I just love it.
You love TNA so much.
And I also think that like when you think of that prime era of TNA, like 05 to 09-ish, there were some pretty weak things going on in WWE. Like,
yes.
And I think that that's why TNA was able to thrive and grow. Is because
and they were going pretty outside the box too. They weren't
for sure
really, TNA didn't really start to wah until they like became WWE Light. When they were doing their own thing, it was like, oh, this is it was the perfect scenario for a great alternative. It never really competed in a scary way.
For 3 weeks, they went head to head on Raw, head to head on Monday.
Wasn't great.
Although they were doing big numbers compared to 2026 numbers, but
that's
a whole other conversation because people don't watch television in the same way at all.
Right. They're watching clips.
As soon as Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff took over, and as soon as they got rid of the 6 sides, there was a drastic downturn in TNA.
Yes, I would agree with that. I would.
So I know it's still a few weeks away from WrestleMania, but looks like we're going to see quite a few title changes at WrestleMania 42, at least according to the odds that are up now at MyBookie. Roman Reigns, the favorite to beat CM Punk for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Rhea Ripley, the favorite to beat Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. And Liv Morgan, the favorite right now to beat Stephanie Vaquer for the WWE Women's World Championship. You can also get in on the basketball action, hockey action, UFC, all of it. And when you sign up, make sure to use my code CVV for a nice 50% welcome bonus. So if you put in, let's say $50, boom, now you've got $75 to get in on that WrestleMania action. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere, only at MyBookie.
Let me hit you with a few more here. Who is the biggest what if in wrestling history?
What if, meaning that like this could have happened, but it didn't. But if it had, it would have changed everything.
Yes. If this storyline was different, or if this person didn't get injured, or this thing in their personal life, whatever it happened to be.
I think, yeah, my favorite what if to think about is every now and then it pops up on the internet. So I'm assuming it's true because it was on the internet. So there's like this letter that the Ultimate Warrior got to come back to the WWE in like 98 or something like that. Like they would, like, or 96 or so. It was like a 5-year deal for him to come back that puts the Ultimate Warrior in the WWE during the Attitude Era. And I think about that more often than I think anybody probably should. But like, what if the Ultimate Warrior had been brought back at the same time that we were seeing Austin and Rock and Foley and all these Attitude Era stars come up, because nothing was going to stop them. But is there a world where like, it's the same thing. It's a two-pronged thing, but I also feel that way about the those photos that popped up not that long ago of like what Papa Shango could have looked like in the Attitude Era had he not been the Godfather. Like those gimmicks, but specifically like the Ultimate Warrior finding a way to, I don't know if he would be darker. I don't know if he would be more reality based. I don't know how the Warrior would have existed in the Attitude Era, but it's really fun to think about it because there are a million ways it could have gone.
Yeah, because we think of him in that golden era.
Cartoon character come to life.
Yes. What would it be like if it was a little bit more reality based?
And you'd have to be. Like, if the Ultimate Warrior is going to stand face to face with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Stone Cold's not having conversations with the cartoon characters. And you're going to look like a fool if you try to be a cartoon character face to face with Stone Cold. You know what I mean? If you're talking about
you Stone Cold.
All it would take is one look from Stone Cold.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? You know what I mean? Like, and it would just destroy the whole character. So like, so what does that look like? And is Warrior going to sell a stunner? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what would that look like? And I feel like
he didn't sell that pedigree.
No, he did not. Not even a little bit. Yeah. So
when we talk about what ifs, I think a lot about Mr. Kennedy because he had the rocket strapped on him. He had won Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Then he has this injury that gets misdiagnosed as a torn tricep. Turns out it's not a torn tricep. They don't find that out till it's too late. Money in the Bank briefcase is taken off of him. It's given to Edge. Edge then goes on and becomes world champion. I would have to think all of that happens to Ken Kennedy.
But when it happened to Edge, it turned his whole career around. Or not around, but it elevated Edge so much that it became who he was. You associated him with that briefcase. He's the ultimate
opportunist.
So
yes.
Does Mr. Kennedy have that? I mean, obviously it'd be very different if it was Mr. Kennedy. Does he have that same thing? Like, would it bring out the same thing in Mr. Kennedy? Maybe. I mean, I think that people forget for that moment how big Mr. Kennedy was and how that entrance was everywhere. It was like a thing.
Yes.
I think that's a great what if.
And I just wonder, I know he was, and he's said this to me on the show, he rubbed some people the wrong way and like he was a different person than he is now. But like he was on that path.
Yeah.
To be a world champion, then maybe a WWE champion. Then where does it go from there?
Yeah. And I think he could have been. And it really is interesting that it just didn't happen.
Here's a fun one. What's the worst name for a WWE PLE ever?
Well, I think there's an obvious one.
There is an obvious one.
You know, I mean, do we state the obvious or move past?
I think we both agree.
Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire.
I mean, that's tough. That's tough. And what really sucks is it's a really good pay-per-view. The show, it's really actually pretty good.
I agree. And it sucks because nobody will look past the name.
No, they won't. No, they won't. I might have done the kickoff show for Great Balls of Fire, which is actually a feather I'll put in my cap. Because that means I got to sell Great Balls of Fire.
Why was it called Great Balls of Fire?
I'm guessing because the Jerry Lee Lewis song. I don't know.
Just because they wanted to use that song?
I guess. I don't know. There was no Inferno match. There was no nothing.
There were no Great Balls of Fire.
No. There weren't. I mean, it wasn't even, the name wasn't even great. You know, no, Great Balls of Fire is easily the worst. I don't think there's any getting around it. And it didn't, the show was amazing. Well, the show was so much better than the name that I feel like it may have even helped the show, but you're right. Nobody remembers the show.
No.
Unfortunately for Samoa Joe. But also if we're getting past that, it always really bothered me that Vader wasn't even on In Your House, It's Time.
That's an excellent point.
Yeah, thank you. That In Your House, It's Time. I remember even as a kid going for what? What is it? It's time for what?
Great question.
In Your House. Yeah, I know it's time for In Your House. What do you mean? In Your House, Good Friends, Better Enemies was Shawn and Diesel because they were good friends, but now they're enemies. In Your House, Mind Games was Shawn and Mankind because Mankind played Mind Games. And then it was In Your House, It's Time. And it was Brett and Sid or something like that. And I'm yeah. And I'm well, what are we doing, guys? We could where's Vader? That's another what if.
Yeah.
If Vader had panned out the way he should have.
That's a good one.
You know what I mean? I'm a big Vader fan. I love big men. So Vader's awesome.
Tables, ladders, chairs, and stairs.
What if we added stairs?
Not a great name.
No, that's tough.
Fatal 4-Way. When only I think only 3 matches on there were actual Fatal 4-Way matches.
But also a Fatal 4-Way match is not that much of an attraction. There's Fatal 4-Way matches all the time. You know what I mean? There might also be one on SmackDown as well as Fatal 4-Way. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Fatal 4-Way, not great.
The Bash. Great American Bash.
Right. And it's
amazing.
And it's got history.
Yes.
I feel the Bash, they were no, let's make it young and contemporary. And you're what Bash? No.
Stomping Grounds. Not so good.
No, and wasn't the logo a boot?
It was a boot.
Because that's what you stomp with. Very literal. Oh, you know what? On that note, what wasn't great? Roadblock, End of the Line. Not the best. I'm not 100% sure.
No.
Not 100% sure what that means. Also, it's repetitive. I know it's the end of the line. That's why the road is blocked.
Sounds like the Roadblock, End of the Line sounds like the 4th movie in a horror sequel.
Right, where they're doing it. They say this is the end of the line.
Yeah.
This is the last Roadblock movie, but we're getting to number 5.
Yeah, number 5's Roadblock, the road continues.
Yeah, Roadblock, the next line. You're okay. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Roadblock, End of the Line, not great.
What's the most underrated theme song of all time?
Oh.
There's so many. Because when you think of theme songs, you think of the obvious ones. Undertaker, Triple H, Stone Cold. But what's one that you think doesn't get enough love?
I'll tell you one that doesn't get nearly enough love, and it was brought to my attention by Not Sam's Own Hot Dog. Billy Kidman's Ruthless Aggression era. You can run if you want to, but you can't hide. Billy Kidman's music was so good. And to this day, you could probably, work out to it and feel like you're going to just rip down a brick wall.
That's a fantastic deep cut
that
nobody brings up.
And even if you played it right now, you're I'll tell you one person whose theme that isn't. Billy Kidman's. Actually, it is indeed Billy Kidman's theme. Probably Kidman.
I see your Billy and I raise you a Billy Gunn. Any of Billy Gunn's theme songs.
Even I'm the one.
I love that song.
Oh my God.
I love that song.
The one.
Ass Man is brilliant.
Ass Man is just a great song.
Just a great song.
Because you go like this. What makes you an ass man? What is it that you like to do with these asses?
He loves to do everything with
Wait,
them.
and he tells you exactly.
I love to love them.
Right.
I love to kick them.
Okay.
I love to kiss them.
Yep. Which is like, you do?
Okay.
You're an ass kisser?
I love to love them.
Yeah. He's a lover of every kind.
He does
You know,
all
the best surprises always sneak up from behind. Why? Wow, I'm an ass man. Oh, okay. That makes sense when you phrase it that way.
When I interviewed Jim Johnston, he said, what if it was I'm an ass, comma, man? And I said, oh, that's a very interesting take, Jim, the guy who wrote the song.
That is an interesting take. And it would be like only an ass would like legitimately sing that song and think I'm a cool dude.
And he was like, well, what if I'm an ass, man? I was like, oh, wow. I never thought about it like that.
I don't know. I look at those lip prints and there's no comma in there.
I love his the one Billy Gunn theme song.
You love that.
Oh my gosh.
So funny.
And I love that people are now putting that song on the intro for 90s sitcoms.
They are.
Right. So like, it'll be like Full House or like Family Matters.
That's great.
I've got it all. Because just the way it starts with the saxophone.
Right. Like, I feel like some of them are like, how ridiculous can we make these songs? And it's like, yeah, that's what we're going with.
Oh, it's so good.
Did you know on the badass Billy Gunn action figures, they had to put Mr. BA on the back of his trunk? It said Mr. BA. And it's like, it's not Mr. BA, that's his first name.
Mr. Badass.
Maybe Mr. Gunn.
Right.
Or Mr. BG, maybe. But his first name is Badass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be like if I was Mr. SR, and it's like, no.
Me and my friends do this thing where we will say names like that, but we'll use synonyms.
Mm-hmm.
So I told Billy this, and he thought it was so dumb because it is. Badass Billy Gunn now becomes evil anus William Firearm.
That's great. I like the firearm thing at that. That's fun.
And then I did one the other day.
And you told that to Billy Gunn?
Yeah, and he goes,
I wouldn't have done it.
That's pretty dumb.
Yeah, it is dumb. Yeah.
I did one the other day with the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. He was the patriotic bad dream, Cody Rhodes.
I like that. I like that.
I don't think Rikishi's Bad Man entrance theme gets enough love.
His heel song?
I'm a bad man, make a bad man. Oh, so
you love
good.
that song.
D'Lo Brown's theme song.
You're looking at the real deal now?
Oh, man.
That actually is a good song.
That's a great song.
You're looking at the real deal now.
Get your sorry ass out on the street.
That's right. Bring it on.
Oh,
yeah. That's
so
a great song. D'Lo's song is great.
But Billy Gunn, the one Billy Gunn for me.
Billy Gunn and Billy Kidman.
So good.
Yeah. They could be a tag team and play one of the music on the way in, one of the music on the way out.
All right, I got one more for you.
Okay.
Who wins a world title first?
Okay.
Bron Breakker, Oba Femi,
Mm-hmm.
or Logan Paul?
If it's me, I've been on the record. Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul going after the world title should happen this year.
I think it happens in 2026.
I think like that's where you start going immediately after WrestleMania. Like I don't know, man. To me, like Logan Paul, the fact that he can sell the pay-per-views that he sold with like Floyd Mayweather, like it's just such a different beast. The idea that a celebrity wrestler has become a full-time wrestler and has like, he's the one guy. Every celebrity comes in and goes, I think I got bit by the bug. And Logan Paul's the only one that's like, no, I'm a wrestler now. I'm going to be a wrestler. I'm going to be on TV every week. I'm going to be in this faction. I'm going to, fight for the tag team title.
He's very clearly not a part-timer.
He's on the show every single week.
Yeah.
He's on every pay-per-view. I think that they have something there. And I think that like Logan has been, and as much as wrestling, the fact that wrestling fans don't want him to be champion.
They so badly do not want him to be world champion.
Is one of the main reasons why he should be the world champion. You know what I mean? Like, I just really like, I would love him to be terrible. I'd be great if Logan Paul showed up to our world and was horrible at it. Unfortunately, that's just not reality. He's really good at it.
He is objectively a great professional wrestler.
Yes. And you could before go, yeah, because he only has to wrestle a handful of times and he gets special training and this and that. And it's like, well, I mean, excuses are running out.
If you don't like him as a person, if you don't like him before wrestling, that's another conversation. I'm talking about within the confines of being a WWE superstar. the promos, the matches. He is objectively amazing at what he does.
Yeah, and I think he can promote main event level matches, and I think people will buy tickets to see him.
I'm going to say, just to be different here, I'm going to say Bron Breakker. I'm interested to see when he comes back. I still feel like he's going to be ready to go for Seth Rollins versus Bron Breakker at WrestleMania. I just have a feeling in my gut that
I would love that
they're going to make this work. And then where does it go from there?
Yeah.
Is it Bron Breakker, CM Punk if he's still the world champion? Is it Bron Breakker, Roman Reigns? I think Roman Reigns wins that match.
I would love that. I love CM Punk, but that's my tribal chief. But that's the other interesting thing, right? Is that yeah, we could say like Logan Paul should be champion and Oba Femi and Bron Breakker, and it's like, what's the top of the card right now? Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, CM Punk.
Yeah,
you tell me who's dropping the title.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're like, it's a very unique time in the sense that we see what's there next, but like the people on top now are showing like we were saying earlier. They're just showing no signs of stopping.
And those are just the people that are in the WrestleMania main events.
Right. That's just your top four at the moment.
Yeah. There's also Drew McIntyre and Gunther and Seth Rollins could be in there. Jacob Fatu could be in there.
Yeah. We're not. Yeah. And I think because Rollins has been out with the injury, we're forgetting that like
Brock Lesnar top guy right there. At any point in time.
Brock's still here.
Part of that conversation.
100%. Gunther.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's loaded right now.
Loaded.
It's loaded.
Just like this episode.
You think it was a loaded episode?
Loaded.
That's great. You think it lived up to expectations?
Except for the Interstellar bit, but other than that.
You probably cut out the beginning. Skip right to the wrestling stuff. Guy doesn't know movies.
Sam Roberts, what are 3 things that you're grateful for?
3 things that I'm grateful for: professional wrestling, my family's health, and that there are the Nolan movies other than Interstellar, so he doesn't have to just hang his hat on that one.
My friend did an interview with Matthew McConaughey at a junket for another film recently.
It's not even the best Matthew McConaughey movie. Go on.
What a performance. But was specifically told like no Interstellar questions.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so people are obsessed with Interstellar like that.
I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. I'm going to speculate wildly that maybe it's just he's
over it.
He's answered enough questions about it. Like he said all he needs to say.
People love
it.
Interstellar like that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
They love that movie.
Yes.
I don't like movies in space that much.
Well, it's not all in space.
It's a lot of space. You know? I was saying this the other day. I don't like movies in space that much, and I really don't like movies in sand. So, you know, take that for what it's worth when you're asking me my opinions on these things.
But man, thank you for making this happen.
Thank you.
No, congrats on everything.
Thank you for inviting me to the Insight Studio.
Of course, with the red mics.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have the time to do all of the things you're doing, but somehow you have found the time to do them all.
Well, there are hours in these days, right? Use them.
I mean, 3 children, 5 jobs, whatever you have.
We got to feed the children.
It's true.
You know, that's why I got the 5 jobs, because the 3 children. One kind of, it's a cycle.
But people can watch this one on my channel. And they can watch the one that we did on your channel.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! You're on Not Sam Wrestling. Great conversation. I mean, it's just all great conversation.
Maybe we do a collaboration. You know,
let's collab them.
The YouTube collaboration.
You want it? Should we put them out on the same day?
You want to?
I don't know. You know YouTube algos better than me. We can put them on whatever you think.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I'll take your word for it. But yes, you'll be able to find both, and we will. I'll collab with this, and you can collab with mine. I'll do that 100%.
Hit a power bomb on that subscribe button if you haven't already.
Whichever channel you're watching on.
That's right.
That's the best part.
Both of them. Thanks again.
Thank you.